Solomon was the wisest man who ever lived. And he left a complete map to achieve prosperity, balance, and purpose. Today you're going to discover 28 principles that can transform your financial, spiritual, and emotional life, starting now. And here's the challenge. At the end of the video, I want you to choose just one of these principles to apply today. Deal. If you believe that wisdom is worth more than gold, go ahead and like this video and subscribe, because this may be the turning point you've been waiting for. Lesson 1. Recognize God as the source of all prosperity. Recognizing God as the source of all prosperity is the first step toward a truly abundant life. When we understand that everything we have, life, health, talents, opportunities, and resources, comes from Him, we develop an attitude of humility and gratitude. This completely changes the way we see success. Instead of believing we are solely responsible for our achievements, we begin to see God as the one who opens doors, strengthens our hands for work, and gives us wisdom for every decision. Prospering without God is like building castles in the sand. It may look impressive at first, but it has no foundation. With God at the center, our prosperity gains purpose, balance, and direction. He reminds us that real wealth is not just having much, but living with meaning, peace, and generosity. When we depend on Him, our efforts become more fruitful and our victories far more enduring. Lesson 2. Prioritize wisdom. Wisdom is the key that opens doors money could never reach. It guides our steps, brings clarity to difficult decisions, and protects us from costly mistakes. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, chose wisdom before riches, and because of that, he received both. When we seek wisdom daily, we begin to see opportunities that were once invisible, avoid emotional decisions, and gain the clarity needed to prosper with balance. Wisdom teaches us how to deal with people, recognize the right moment to act, and manage every area of life with maturity. It is the foundation of true prosperity, because wealth without wisdom leads to ruin. Those who grow in wisdom grow in everything. Lesson 3. Live with integrity. Integrity is an invisible yet powerful asset. It builds solid reputations, generates trust, and attracts opportunities that change destinies. People with integrity are sought after for business, partnerships, and leadership roles because they convey security and transparency. Solomon reminds us that dishonest scales are detestable and that God delights in justice. Integrity protects us from emotional, financial, and spiritual losses, and opens doors that talent alone could never open. Even when it seems costly in the short term, integrity always brings long-lasting rewards. True prosperity is born from strong character, the ability to uphold values even when no one is watching. Integrity is strength, and integrity shapes your destiny. Lesson 4. Daily diligence. True prosperity doesn't come from occasional effort, but from daily consistency. Diligence means moving forward even when results have not yet appeared. It means planting every day, trusting that the harvest will come at the right time. Solomon teaches that diligent hands will rule, while laziness leads to poverty. Those who work with focus, discipline, and perseverance create opportunities where others see obstacles. Diligence transforms small repeated actions into great achievements. It develops skills, builds confidence, and creates a track record of excellence that opens bigger doors. The fruits always come to those who don't give up at the first challenge. Quiet consistency is one of the greatest forces behind prosperity. Lesson 5. Manage your money with prudence. Prosperity doesn't depend only on how much you earn, but mainly on how well you manage what you already have. Financial prudence is one of Solomon's core principles of wisdom. Not spending without purpose, avoiding impulsive debt, and practicing self-control are habits that preserve and multiply resources. Financial planning brings clarity, reduces anxiety, and prepares the ground for greater opportunities. Generosity, in turn, keeps the heart free from greed, and activates spiritual principles that attract provision. Those who manage money well become more stable, more prepared, and more capable of achieving their dreams. Prosperity is built through daily decisions, spending less than you earn, saving, investing, and helping others. This is the foundation of a solid future. Lesson 6. Master your emotions. Emotions are excellent servants but terrible masters. Impulsiveness has already ruined careers, relationships, and brilliant futures. Solomon teaches that whoever cannot control their own spirit is like a city without walls, vulnerable to any attack. Mastering your emotions does not mean ignoring them but learning to guide them with maturity. When we learn to breathe before responding, think before acting, and reflect before deciding, we avoid irreversible mistakes. Whoever controls their heart controls their path. Self-control preserves opportunities, strengthens relationships, and creates an inner environment of peace where wise decisions can flourish. Prosperity is lost through impulsiveness, but grows where emotional balance is present. Lesson 7. Choose your friendships wisely. Relationships can be bridges that take us further, or abysses that destroy us. Solomon warns that those who walk with the wise become wise, but those who associate with fools suffer harm. The people around us shape our habits, influence our decisions, and determine much of our destiny. That's why you must walk with people who lift you up, inspire you, and lead you toward light, not chaos. Healthy friendships encourage growth, correct with love, and celebrate your victories without envy. Surrounding yourself with the right people is a silent investment that multiplies prosperity and prevents deep wounds. Choosing your relationships wisely is choosing your future wisely. Lesson 8. Seek counsel. Great decisions should never be made alone. Pride isolates us, but collective wisdom protects us from costly mistakes. Solomon highlights that in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Listening to experienced people broadens our vision, reveals hidden risks, and helps us act with prudence. Seeking counsel is not a sign of weakness but of maturity. It recognizes that no one sees everything and that prosperity is built not only with effort, but with wise alliances. Before investing, starting a project, or making a difficult decision, consult trustworthy voices. Good counsel prevents losses, amplifies results, and accelerates the path to prosperity. Those who ask for guidance walk farther, and with fewer scars. Lesson 9. Practice justice. Justice is fertile ground where prosperity flourishes. Solomon reminds us that God delights in honest scales and rejects any form of deceit. Acting with justice builds trust, reputation, and open doors, three essential elements for lasting prosperity. Those who cheat may profit for a moment, but they always pay double later. They lose peace, credibility, and opportunities that never return. Justice protects your path and strengthens your relationships. When you treat people with fairness, keep your word, and do what is right even when no one is watching, you become someone trustworthy. And trust is worth more than gold. The righteous prosper because they plant trust and harvest favor. Lesson 10. Control your words. Words are powerful seeds. A single sentence can heal, lift up, and restore, but it can also wound, destroy, and close doors forever. Solomon teaches that life and death are in the power of the tongue. The wise think before they speak, filter their emotions, and choose words that build rather than tear down. Controlling your speech is controlling your destiny. Relationships grow stronger when our words are truthful, kind, and thoughtful. Silence is also wisdom when used to avoid useless conflicts. Those who master their tongue avoid traps, attract respect, and spread honor wherever they go. Prosperity walks with a governed tongue, not a reckless one. Lesson 11. Eliminate envy. Envy is a silent poison that corrodes joy, drains energy, and shifts focus away from our own opportunities. Solomon teaches that envy rots the bones. It destroys from the inside out. When we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of the unique path God designed for us. Every person has their own timing, grace, and mission. Comparison is a thief that steals joy, gratitude, and productivity. Live your own process, celebrate your victories, and learn from the success of others without diminishing yourself. Prosperity flourishes when you stop looking at your neighbor's field and start watering your own. Lesson 12. Cultivate your spiritual life. For Solomon, true wisdom always begins with the fear of the Lord. No area of life prospers fully when the spirit is empty. A healthy spiritual life gives us direction, clarity, purpose, and strength to face challenges. Prayer, meditation on the Word, and fellowship with God align our steps and keep our hearts sensitive to divine opportunities and warnings. When we take care of our inner life, our external actions change. We make wiser decisions, treat people with more love, and live with greater peace. Prosperity without spirituality is unstable. With God, it becomes solid, balanced, and lasting. Lesson 13. Learn to wait. Impatience pushes us toward dangerous shortcuts, rushed decisions, and harvests taken before their time. Solomon observed that everything has its appointed season: to plant, to water, to wait, and then to reap. Time is not the enemy, it is an ally to those who sow with wisdom. Waiting is not standing still, but continuing to work with faith while God prepares the right circumstances. Many times, delay is not denial but protection. Maturity comes when we understand that processes shape character and strengthen our ability to sustain future prosperity. Those who learn to wait reap sweeter, stronger, and longer-lasting fruits. Lesson 14. Be humble. Humility is the key that opens doors pride closes. Solomon teaches that pride comes before destruction, and he knew this from experience. Humility keeps us teachable, prevents complacency, and reminds us that everything we have comes from God. Humble people attract help, good opportunities, and healthy relationships. They know how to listen, acknowledge mistakes, and value learning. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is recognizing your strength without stepping on anyone. Where there is humility, there is growth, favor, and continuous prosperity. God honors the humble because they use their victories to bless, not to exalt themselves. Lesson 15. Avoid violent or unstable people. Solomon repeatedly warns, do not associate with angry, violent, or unstable people. Such company can destroy years of progress in a matter of days. Toxic relationships drain energy, distort our sense of direction, and drag us into unnecessary conflict. Prosperity cannot grow in chaotic environments. Walking with aggressive or unpredictable individuals opens the door to problems that could have been avoided. Choose to surround yourself with peaceful, balanced, and responsible people, those who add, not those who drain. Your peace is worth more than any dangerous connection. Protecting your circle is protecting your future. Lesson 16. Reject easy paths. The pursuit of shortcuts is the enemy of true prosperity. Solomon teaches that quick riches rarely last. What comes fast, goes fast. Easy paths almost always hide risks, illusions, or serious consequences. Solid prosperity is built through honest work, firm principles, and consistency. Each stage of the process strengthens your ability to manage what lies ahead. When we reject magical solutions and embrace real growth, we develop character, credibility, and prosperity that withstands time. Don't be in a hurry to arrive. Be wise enough to build. What is gained with integrity lasts forever. Lesson 17. Honor and care for your family. For Solomon, family is a treasure of immeasurable value. Before any external achievement, it is at home that we learn love, respect, character, and responsibility. Prosperity that destroys the family is not prosperity, it is loss in disguise. When we care for our loved ones, we invest in the emotional and spiritual foundation that sustains every other area of life. A healthy home generates peace, strength, and motivation to overcome challenges. Honoring family means offering presence, support, conversation, and example. It means being someone trustworthy at home, not just in the world. Those who value family create a legacy money cannot buy, one that lasts for generations. Lesson 18. Be generous. Solomon reveals a powerful principle. Generosity unlocks doors that cannot be opened any other way. Whoever plants kindness reaps favor, and favor is worth more than fortune. Generosity does not impoverish, it multiplies. It purifies the heart, pushes away greed, and aligns us with God's heart. Being generous is not only about giving money, but giving time, attention, counsel, and resources that build others up. Generous people attract opportunities because they sow healthy relationships and build bridges. True prosperity is expansive. The more you give, the more returns to you in unexpected ways. Lesson 19. Take care of your health. Solomon understood that health is the foundation of all prosperity. There is no point in having wealth if you lack the energy to enjoy it. Body, mind, and spirit were created to work in harmony. Taking care of your health is investing in the instrument God gave you to fulfill your purpose. Balanced eating, proper rest, exercise, healthy relationships, and time with God are essential pillars. When we neglect our health, we pay a high price later. But when we prioritize it, we gain clarity, strength, energy, and longevity to prosper. Health is not a luxury, it is a commitment to your purpose and to the people you love. Lesson 20. Practice personal discipline. Discipline is the bridge between what you desire and what you actually achieve. Solomon exalted self-control as one of the greatest human virtues. Discipline is doing what is right even when your will says, "Not today." It is waking up when you would rather sleep, saving when you want to spend, working when you feel like giving up. Disciplined people achieve what many only dream of. Discipline turns small daily habits into great long-term results. It shapes character, builds consistency, and creates confidence. Prosperity does not grow from intention, it grows from repetition. Every disciplined act is a brick in the future you are building. Lesson 21. Recognize your limits. Admitting "I don't know, I can't," or "I can't do this alone" is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Solomon teaches that the wise recognize their limits because it keeps them away from failure. Ignoring limits leads to exhaustion, rushed decisions, and avoidable mistakes. When we acknowledge our limitations, we make room to learn, ask for help, and seek advice. We also avoid taking on commitments bigger than we can handle. Knowing how far you can go protects your health, your reputation, and your prosperity. True strength lies in the humility of understanding that no one grows alone. Even the great need support. Lesson 22. Avoid useless arguments. Solomon reminds us that foolish arguments drain energy, focus, and peace, three essential ingredients for prosperity. Every time you engage in debates that lead nowhere, you divert your mind from what truly matters. Wise people choose their battles carefully. Not everything deserves your response, and not every provocation deserves your attention. Avoiding useless arguments is not cowardice, it is emotional intelligence. It is preserving your time, your purpose, and your productivity. Those who learn to stay silent when necessary move farther than those who always need the last word. Lesson 23. Keep your word. For Solomon, a person's word is a treasure. Promises are bridges that uphold relationships, credibility, and opportunities. When you make a promise and fulfill it, you communicate trust, and trust opens doors that talent alone cannot. Let your yes truly be yes, and your no be no. Honoring commitments, schedules, contracts, and responsibilities demonstrates character. People who do what they say build solid reputations and earn respect wherever they go. Prosperity flourishes in the soil of trust. Lesson 24. Learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are part of the journey, and Solomon understood that every failure carries a lesson hidden in its pain. What separates winners from losers is not the absence of mistakes, but the ability to learn from them. When you face your missteps with humility, you turn negative experiences into growth. Each corrected error becomes a step toward maturity and prosperity. Running from responsibility only repeats the cycle. Acknowledging, learning, and adjusting is what sets you free. Prosperity is built by those who use mistakes as teachers. Lesson 25. Seek the truth. Solomon is clear. Truth frees, directs, and protects. Living on illusions is walking in the dark. You may move forward, but you don't know where you're going. Truth, even when painful, is a lighthouse that shows the right path. Seeking the truth means facing reality, admitting failures, revisiting beliefs, and abandoning deception. People who love the truth make wiser decisions, avoid traps, and build more authentic relationships. Truth is an investment that always yields returns. Lesson 26. Flee from corruption. Dishonest gain may seem advantageous at first, but it always comes with a very high price. Solomon warns that corruption leads to disaster, destroys reputations, and steals peace. Nothing is more valuable than a clear conscience and an upright life before God and people. Prosperity obtained through corrupt means is unstable, fragile, and temporary. Prosperity built with honesty, however, is lasting. Avoiding unjust practices protects your future, your honor, and your purpose. Those who choose the right path, even when it is harder, reap far greater rewards in the end. Lesson 27. Practice gratitude and contentment. Gratitude is one of the most powerful keys in Solomon's teachings. When we learn to be thankful for what we already have, our perspective changes. We stop focusing on what is missing and begin to see how blessed we already are. Gratitude multiplies blessings because it places us in a posture of recognition and humility. Contentment, meanwhile, does not mean settling, but having peace during the process. Those who value the little show maturity to receive much. Solomon teaches that a thankful heart lives lighter, happier, and more aligned with God's purpose. Prosperity begins in a grateful soul. Imagine your life a year from now if you apply just 5 of these principles. Now imagine 5 years from now. Imagine your family, your faith, your business, your inner peace. Prosperity begins inside you, in your habits, your decisions, and the wisdom you apply daily. Solomon's wisdom has survived for centuries because his principles never grow old. They were written for me, for you, and for everyone who desires to live above average. Now tell me in the comments, which principle will you start applying today? Choose just one, and declare it below. If this video spoke to your heart, share it with someone you want to see prosper. And of course, subscribe so you can keep receiving content that transforms lives.